today? I hope you're feeling good, healthy, and of course, happy. Welcome back again with me, Ms Widya, and today is our second meeting. I hope you are still on fire to learn English together with me because I am so excited to see you, even though it's only from this video. Okay, before we jump to the material, let me review a little bit about what we learned last week. Can anybody help me mention about what did we learn last week? Yes, application letter. Can you also tell me the definition of application letter? Kind of document, yes, that should be sent together with our resume to the employer. So if we want to apply certain job, we need to send our resume and application letter. Exactly, so smart. Beside the definition, can you tell me what else did we learn last week? 2 important points from 3 important points of application letter. What are they? Social functions and text structures. Alright, talking about social functions of application letter, there are 3 keys to help you understand easier. What are they? To express, to showcase, and to illustrate. So the social functions of the application letter are to express our interest in attending an institution or receiving a position. What do you mean, miss? Well, in the application letter, we need to mention why we want to work at that place. For the example, I want to work in Tarakanita Senior High School as English teacher because I really love the vibe. And also, Tarakanita is well known with blah 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 blah. Something like that. And then the next one, to showcases our abilities and strengths. In the application letter, we mention that several skills that is important to show off to the employer. For the example, I want to apply as English teacher, so I need to show off my skills in teaching. Next, to illustrate our experience. In this part, we are not mentioning or telling our experience of our love or our life, but our experiences that is connected with what we want to apply. For the example, I want to apply as an English teacher, so I need to mention my experiences about teaching. For the example, yes, those are 3 keys of social function. Now jump to the next one. What is it? Yes, the text structures. What are the text structures of application letter? There are 5. Remember? Yes, header, salutation or greeting, body, closing, and signature. First one, the header. It contains our information and the employer's information. For the example, my name, okay, Widya Gatra, and then the address of mine, Boton Margoharjo number 16, for the example, and then my number. After that, I will add the date. When did I wrote the letter? After the date, I wrote the employer's information. For the example, Mr. Edi. And then the address of the institution, Jalan Beringin, number blah blah blah. And then the number or the email of the institution. The next one, salutation or greeting. Because it is our first chance to differentiate ourselves and the other applicants, so we need to greet the employers directly and formally. For the example, because I want to send my application letter to Mr. Edi, I will write, Dear Mr. Edi. Alright, the next one is the body. In the body, you need to mention where did you saw the job vacancy, and then why you are interested to apply in that institution. The next one is your qualification. What makes you or worth to be hired to work there? And then as a summary, you need to tell them about your experiences and also how the employers can contact you. After the body, we know that we need to write down the closing. Because it is a formal letter, we need to, of course, end it with formal phrases, such as truly yours. Remember, you need to avoid informal phrases such as hug and kisses or cheers or bye, something like that. Okay, understand? If that's so, the last part, the signature. This is where you need to write or sign your signature. And of course, write your name under your signature. Okay, that's what we learned last week. Now, how about this week? What will we learn? If last week we already learned 2 from 3 important points, today we will learn the last important points of application letter. It is language features. But today we will not only learn about language features, but also this: common grammar mistakes and national exam preparation. I will provide some examples and also examples of the questions that might be came out on your exam about application letter. So without any further ado, let's jump to the material. Yay! Okay, the first point of today's material, language features. We learn about text structures and then about the social functions. And I'm sure that you already read the example of application letter last week. So, after you watch, can you imagine or can you describe or mention what are the language features of application letter? Have no ideas? Well, the first one, using simple present tense. And then formal language, just like what you already know. No informal language here, so you need to be very formal. The next one, you need to be clear, objective, and persuasive. You need to choose the right words. The clear, objective, and persuasive words or sentences or phrases. Next one, you cannot use contractions. What is contractions, miss? Well, contraction is when you combine 2 words. For the example, we will. You combined it into will. You cannot use that. You need to write we will, not will. The last one, you need to use verbs to indicate actions and feeling. Okay, from these 5 language features that I already mentioned, do you have any questions? If yes, you need to write it down now. And then later on when we do our Google meeting, you need to tell me and ask me what is your question. Okay, jump to the next one. Common grammar mistakes. Well, in writing an application letter, usually people do the same mistakes. Not usually, but commonly. What are they? First, preposition. The next one is repetition.
So, when you are writing an application letter, don't end your sentence with a preposition. Why? because prepositions should link nouns, pronouns, and phrases to other words in a sentence. Kenapa kita tidak boleh menggunakan preposition untuk mengakhiri kalimat dalam application letter? Karena preposition ini harus menghubungkan noun, pronoun, dan frasa dengan kata lainnya dalam sebuah kalimat. Contohnya preposition itu apa sih emangnya? At, on, or. Nah, sampai sini paham kan?
Then, comma use hashtag what?
Try to avoid using the same word more than once in a sentence. Kenapa sih Miss kita harus menghindari menggunakan kata yang sama dalam satu kalimat? Karena mengulang kata itu sama dengan membuat kalimat tersebut tidak efektif. Nah, dalam mengerjakan application letter, kita harus menuliskan kalimat secara efektif agar tampak formal.
Then, comma use hashtag what?
Well, it is wrong to use a comma to combine two independent clauses.
The next one, comma use hashtag to.
Don't forget to place a comma after an introductory word or phrase.
Last but not least, punctuation with quotation.
When writing a sentence, punctuation can be used inside or outside of a quote. This is determined by whether it is or is not a part of the quotation. Jadi, tanda baca sebelum atau sesudah quotation itu akan membuat kalimat tersebut memiliki arti yang berbeda. Jadi kita lihat dulu konteksnya, mau meletakkan tanda baca tersebut sebelum atau sesudah quotation. Jika sebelum quotation, berarti tanda baca tersebut masih menjadi bagian dalam quotation tersebut. Sedangkan setelah quotation atau setelah tanda petik, ya quotation itu tanda petik ya nantinya, itu nanti sudah milik secara umum, bukan hanya quotationnya saja. Begitu.
After you hear my explanation about common grammar mistakes, do you have any question? If yes, don't forget to ask me when we do the Google meeting. The last material for today is national exam preparation. Okay, so I want to help you understand deeper about what usually come out on the national exam about application letter. They usually ask about the same thing. What are they? Either about the purpose of the letter, about the applicant's information, the employer's information, the position that the applicants apply, about where the applicant get the information about the company, and the last one is about the applicant's qualification. So you need to focus on that part when you read or when you try to understand questions about application letter. Okay, let's look at the example.
At class, before we discuss about the questions, let's read together the example of application letter. Lilis Handayani, Jalan Ayani 389, Surabaya 65151. April 19, 2015, Mr. Frank Peterson, Personal Manager Jeans & Co. Jalan Raya Pandaan 186, Pandaan Pasuruan, Jawa Timur 98502. Dear Mr. Peterson, I am writing to you in response to your advertisement for a local branch manager newspaper appeared in the Jawa Post on Sunday, June 15. As you can see from my enclosed resume, my experience and qualifications match this position's requirements. My current position, managing the local branch of a national shoe retailer, has provided the opportunity to work under a high-pressure team environment. where it is essential to be able to work closely with my colleagues in order to meet sales deadlines. In addition to my responsibilities as manager, I also developed time management tools for staff using Access and Excel from Microsoft's Office suite. Thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to the opportunity to personally discuss why I am particularly suited for this position. Please call me after 4 p.m. to suggest a time we may meet. I can be reached via telephone number 031 858564 or by email at lilis@yahoo.com. Sincerely, Lilis Handayani. Now, after we read the example together, let's jump to the discussion about the questions of application letter that might be come out on your national exam. The first one, what is the purpose of the letter or why did the writer write the letter? Apa sih tujuan dari surat tersebut? Atau kenapa sang penulis menulis surat tersebut? If you meet this kind of question, you don't need to think about the answer because it is a valid answer. Kalian tidak perlu berpikir lagi jawabannya karena jawabannya sudah pasti. Untuk mencari pekerjaan atau untuk melamar pekerjaan, bukan mencari, maaf. Or in English, to apply for a job. That's it. Sudah. Now, number 2. Who wrote the application letter? Siapa sih yang menulis surat tersebut? Now, if we look at the example, there are 2 names, Lilis Handayani and Mr. Frank Peterson. Kira-kira menurut teman-teman semua, siapa yang menulis surat ini? Hayo, apakah Lilis atau Mr. Frank? Jawabannya, you can look at the very bottom of the letter, after the closings or in the signature parts. There will be a name, and that name is the name of the writer. Now, the next question. Who is Mr. Frank Peterson? If previously we know that Lilis Handayani is the writer of the letter, so who is Mr. Frank Peterson? Of course, Mr. Frank Peterson is the personal manager of Jeans & Co. or the employer of this job vacancy. Next one. What has her current position provided with? Apa sih maksudnya bagian ini, Miss? It sounds a little bit weird. Well, what has her current position provided with can be the same with please mention one qualification of Lilis. Jadi, maksud dari soal yang ini adalah posisinya sekarang itu memberikan dia benefit apa? If we look at the second paragraph. My current position managing the local branch of a national shoe retailer has provided the opportunity to work under a high-pressure team environment, where it is essential to be able to work closely with my colleagues in order to meet sales deadlines. Bagian ini adalah salah satu qualification yang di-show off-kan oleh Lilis. Lah terus menjawabnya bagaimana, Miss? Nah, menjawabnya, her current position provided her with the opportunity to work under pressure and working with team environment. What do you mean, Miss? By answering the question with that kind of sentence? Jadi posisinya dia sekarang memberikan dia opportunity atau kesempatan yang lebih daripada para calon karyawan yang lain, karena dia bisa work under pressure atau bekerja di bawah tekanan, dan working with team environment atau bekerja dalam lingkungan berkelompok atau pekerjaan yang dituntut untuk dikerjakan bersama-sama. It is one of her qualification. So, until this one, do you have any question? If yes, feel free to ask me on the Google Meet session, because we will have Q&A or question and answer. We will try to discuss your question together and try to find the answer together.
Alright, before I end this video, I want to remind you that after this we have our Google Meet session, so make sure that you are already prepared with your questions to ask for. And then also make sure that you already got the link to the Google Meet session so you can get into or join the Google Meet session. This Google Meet session will be last for about 30 to 40 minutes. So make sure that you guys attend the Google Meet session. Alright? Do we have any worksheet or homework for today's meeting? I will tell you on the Google meeting. And next meeting, we will have quiz or ulangan harian. So make sure you join Google Meet because I will explain everything at the Google Meet. See you on the Google Meet and see you next week. Have a great day!